Howdy folks, Little John, and about to get into, it's going to be a long, I'm going to try and keep it short as I can, brewery review with Hop Nation. Anyone who follows the, gets on the Facebook page will see recently I bought a Hop Nation pack from the brewery, which contained, I can't think exactly how many beers it was now, but anyway, but there's a few different ones in there, and I'm going to work my way through them. Now I've done a Hop Nation before, I've done a few, well I haven't like a brewery thing, but I have done some Hop Nation beers before. It's well known if you watch the channel and the beer reviews. I do really like their beers as a general thing. I haven't really found any of their beers that I haven't enjoyed at the very least. So given that there's, I think there's might be 6 different beers, I'm not sure. It's going to take me a little while to get into this, so I'm walking into the first one. So here we go. We're into the Hop Nation Organic Lager today, and before we get into this, shout out to the Patreons. Cheers guys for your support as always. There's a link down the bottom of the video in the description to the Patreon page. I'll give you a little bit of information what it's about. Check it out if you're interested. And if you're not interested, check it out anyway, because you might become interested after you check it out. All the subscribers, again, thank you. If you aren't subscribed, hit the subscribe button and hit the thumbs up, give the video a like as we go. Anyway, Hop Nation, they're down there in Victoria somewhere. They're in Footscray. So, down there in Melbourne. Now, this pack all came from the brewery, so they're all within a decent date, which is nice. I have made a comment before when I'm doing a lot of reviews that quite often, because I'm getting through beer clubs and through packs, that quite often the beers aren't always, well not quite often, but often enough, the beers aren't always real fresh. So I have tried to take a little bit more of a turn and trying to get a little bit, so these ones actually trying to get stuff that's fresher, and this stuff actually bought directly from Hop Nation themselves, and I do remember checking the dates on these. They all are fairly short for the style of beers they are. So first one here, and I want to get into these reasonably quickly because I said there's a few and I don't want to drag this out. This is the Organic Lager, 4% alcohol. It's a 375ml can, I do believe. I'm pretty sure it's 375. It feels like it's 375. There it is, 375, 1.2 drinks. Our organic lager is everything it should be. Crisp, clean, refreshing, using organically grown malt and hops with no added preservatives. It gives a subtle floral hop aroma and a mild bitterness. All in all, a classic lager profile. Okay, so this is clearly going to be their everyman beer. So for the, and to some degree, it's also addressing, those who want the, go push down that organic avenue and want the hipsters that are pushing towards vegans, but I haven't really made the jump yet. But anyway, but this is obviously this is going to be a beer for the masses. Okay, it's reasonably clean, it's crispish. It's light. There is that little bit of floral going on there. I've got to say, it's actually one time where the blurb on the can really fits in with the beer. There is that subtle floral hop aroma. There's a little bit subtle hop, the floral note on the mouth. Mild bitterness. It is quite mild. There's enough there that you know you've got a beer in your hand. And it's there fairly quickly. Almost the moment that beer gets into your mouth, you're getting a little bit of bitterness up around the front of your mouth. So you're responding pretty quickly to it. But it is mild. It's gentle. And it flows over to just some soft malt and that little bit of hop flavour there. I think I tend to agree. Yeah, the lager profile, definitely classic, for sure. As I said, for what they're aiming for the masses, I think, yeah, it's a really bloody good beer. For me, I think it's just a tad too light on the bitterness. I don't think I could drink too many of these. Despite the fact that it is light and it's clean, I don't think I could drink too many. I think it's I think it would quickly become quite sweet in the palate with the lack of bitterness that is there. But other than that, that's the only thing that's the only real negative I can really put on it. Because other than that, it's quite a nice beer. Main thing for me is it actually delivers what the can says it's going to. Again, that's going to be helped by the beer being in a reasonable date. This was brewed, packaged on the 26th of March, so it's just over 3 months old, which is lovely conditioning time for a lager, by my reckonings. So, all good. Score out of 10, I'd give it a 7. I said it's not bad. It's not for me. It's not fantastic, but good start. Looking forward to the next brew. Right, here we go. Beer number 2. The damned pilsner. I've got a funny feeling I've had this before, but I can't say for sure. Okay. Ooh. Jedi frothy number. It's supposed to be a little bit, maybe a tad overcarbed. They're probably gone for a high carbonation with the for the style, but anyway, let's have a bit of a look at what's going on here. Once again, she's a 375ml can, 4.8% alcohol. Now, just to be sure, Hop Nation, they're still in Footscray. Okay, beer, it says here, an Eastern European style Pilsner with a modern hoppy twist. Crisp and refreshing with a distinct New Zealand hop profile showcasing Motueka and Riwaka hops. Be damned if you do. So you're crashing an Eastern style Pilsner with some New Zealand hops. So the Motueka and Riwaka. I've used Motueka before. I've not used Riwaka. I do have a Riwaka Pale Ale, all Riwaka going in the fermenter at the moment as part of Extravaganza. So interesting, but I've used the Motueka in combination with other hops and have found it alright, so have found it alright. You've got a little bit too much of the fuzzy stuff on top here, so that's going to make it a little bit hard to get to. Okay, it's got that nice sherbety, sweet pilsner sort of a nose. I tend to find that particularly the East European pilsner sort of push that sherbety sort of an edge. Not quite as much malt focus. I don't know exactly where the sherbety edge comes from, but I tend to get it in this sort of style. So I don't know whether it's a yeast thing or not. I don't know where it comes from, but it's something I pick up. And it's funny because I've never really known any other reviewer to sort of describe anything as having that sherbety sort of a nose, but it's a distinct note that I get in some beers, but anyway. But it smells nice and soft and fresh, as the smell. We'll see if we can get through this bloody, through this head. Okay, that's interesting. That's not what I was expecting. Well, certainly not completely, anyway. With an initial soft minerally taste on the palate, and that's the first thing you're tasting. Not malt, not hops, it's mineral. And it's the mineral combining with the malt and the hop, but it's mineral. It's the first flavour. First flavour I'm getting is mineral. And actually, to some degree, it's very much the same sort of thing you get with a big NEIPA. It's that chloride bite. It's that heavily chloride-based beer with that mineral coming out of the top to make, which they use to make the softness in the hops to really pull the bitterness down and make the beer soft and round. It takes away that sharpness. Now, that's fine in an NEIPA, but I don't want it. I don't want that in a pilsner. For me, pilsner, it's sharp, it's edgy, it's bite, it's whack, it hits you when you drink it. You know you gotta, for me, generally, it's a savagely bitter beer for what it is. That is really very soft. It's quite nice. Don't get me wrong. Nothing wrong with the flavour. There's nothing wrong with the actual flavour and the taste of the beer and the profile. It just, for me, it doesn't match up with the style. I think I can't really get a clean taste on that Motueka and the Ruaka to see exactly what it's doing. And I said, I think it seems to be that mineral content that's doing that. That's really dragging too much fluffiness. Just like the head, too much fluffiness in the beer. can see that as we're pouring, there's a little bit of yeast crud there in the end of the can, and it's almost giving it a almost cloudy sort of look. Yeah, again, it's a nice enough beer. I'll give it a 7 out of 10, but this time, yeah, see, it doesn't match up with the blurb. Eastern European style pilsner, that bang gives me, it's going to be biting and edgy. With a modern hoppy twist, so I'm expecting to have a good hop presence and get that, I get like they're saying it's Mawaka and Majwaka and Rawaka, so I'm expecting that the flavour of the hops to be a little different than what a classic SARS driven spicy sort of a number, but yeah, it's like they've somehow tried to combine the NEIPA effect into the lager and making that the twist, which I don't think is necessarily a workable thing. But as I said, drinkable, just doesn't really deliver what the can's telling me it's going to. I'm not disappointed in the beer itself. A little bit disappointed in the way it's been put forward to me. But other than that, I'm happy enough with it. I'm going to drink it. I've got a second can of that, and I'll enjoy that on another day. Just won't take too much notice of what the can tells me I'm expecting to get. Anyway, I'll see you soon with the next beer in the Hop Nation Parade. Righto. Let's go to the next brew on this run. It's actually been a probably a good week since I had the last brew from the Hop Nation. A few other things going on in between, but anyway, this is today's the Punch Mango Gose, 4% alcohol. So the pops from the glass from a rich lemon colour, and that's sort of what she is. She's fizzed and dropped to no head at all very quickly. Okay, it's got a little bit of fruit nose, touch of that tart, gose nose, that smell that you sort of get. Righto, there's a few things just whirled around your mouth there. First thing you get is sour. Not viciously sour, but you get the sour note pretty much first thing, and then you get some sweetness coming through from the mango. And tartness from the passion fruit as well. So it's like this, it's like an interchange of flavours. It starts sour, then the sweet comes through from the passion fruit, and then the tartness of the the sweetness from the mango, and then the tartness from the passion fruit sort of rolls over the top of it. That's really unusual. to get the free interactions like that. Not uncommon to get some slight changes, but free is interesting. It's definitely got the nice sour edge, but I think it's lacking the saltiness of a good gose. And I think that's allowing that mango and passion fruit to sort of be not so much overpowering, but it sort of takes over and becomes the dominant sort of flavour, which isn't a bad thing, but I think just that touch more salt towards the back end, I think would really just finish that off really nice. It's a nice enough brew. I've had better goses, I've certainly had worse, so decent offering, and again these guys just delivering a solid beer, 7.5, somewhere in that sort of range score wise. But yeah, I wouldn't recommend going out of your way to particularly try it. Now this, I'm going to finish this one. I'll be back soon with we'll knock over a second hop nation for the day, and I think number 4 for this tasting. Right, let's continue on our way. Next fella, we're going to take things up a notch, up a level. This fella, IPA, The Chop, 7% American IPA. Citra Mosaic and Simcoe. It smells alright for me. Got a nice nose. It's quite light in colour for an IPA. This little whack of fruit on the nose. That's just a really nice balance of malt and hops. Yep. It's a little more old school IPA. Chop's been around for a while. This is probably one of their older beers. All these cans are nice and fresh. But yeah, it's that classic American IPA before they started going split between West Coast and East Coast and New England and all that sort of stuff. when it was just, you know, was an amped up pale ale. So it took it to another level, you know, with more hops, a little bit more malt, and this one just delivers really well. You get that sweetness up front, and the hops come in. There's a, yeah, a bitter edge which isn't confronting, but it's there nicely. Then the mash of fruit through the mouth, and then finishes with that malt sweetness comes back at the end again. So the hops are very noticeable, but they're not dominating. That really is a really good pure example of, you know, that balance, where neither malt or hops is running the show, but they're working. Yeah, they're working together to produce a really nice beer. Definitely, that scores an 8 at least. Yeah. So I'm going to go off. I'm going to finish this one. Enjoy what's left of it, and you'll see me soon when I get around to moving on to the next couple. As I said, I think there's still 4 to go. I'm pretty sure there's 8 different beers in there, so pardon me, we're still got a tad to go, so I'll see you soon. Righto, let's go beer number 5 on this expedition to Hop Nation. And today's episode finds us in the world of what's got to be their most well-known beer, their signature beer, their most one they're famous for, well, mostly. The J Juice, New England IPA, was called Jedi Juice, but there was some drama. Wonder why. Anyway, 7.1%, hazy, juicy, citrusy hop aroma. Finishes with an intense flavour and a great mouthfeel. Riwaka, Nelson Sauvin, Citron Mosaic hops. 2.1 standard drinks in the glass. So there, she's pale yellow colour. She's got crud floating around in it, which is just yeast and and whatnot. Not an issue. Some people get all fucking narky about it and want to, oh shit, it's got bits in it. But I've found plenty of New England IPAs got that sort of thing, remnants from the ferment. Not a problem. Now, I've had this a few times before. This is this isn't a new beer for me. I haven't had it a lot, but I have had it a few times. No, the nose is just, it's probably got one of the best noses on a New England that I've come across. It's just deep and long. It's juicy without being particularly smelling like you're just drinking juice. There's a strong juicy tone, but there's this underlying malt that's sort of cutting through it. So, expresses itself really well on the nose. And I don't know if you saw that, if you could see that as I was pouring. Initially it's pouring fairly clear because it's settled in the can. So you do need to get a little bit of a swirl in the can to make sure you're getting that little bit of goodness off the bottom, because that is a chunk of the character. That yeast and that sediment that's in there, that's part of the character. It gets that haziness. It's actually interesting though how much it does settle out. And this isn't particularly old. This is brewed on the 30th of March. So April, May, June. It's a couple of months old, but not ridiculously old. And that flavour, it's what the nose, it's what the aroma tells you is going to happen. You know, you smell the beer, you're expecting a certain thing to happen when you drink it, and that's what you get. And it's uncommon. You don't normally get most beers. You get this nose, and then the flavour doesn't match up with what you're smelling. This beer, it does. It truly does. It's that fruit. It's a clear, definite fruity note. It's pushing towards a juice, but there's enough malt coming through. There's a little bit of that malt sweet there, and then there's a little bit of touch of the chloride in the minerals that stops it from pushing all the way there. It's enough there to bring you back in, going, okay, hang on, no, there is a beer here. Which is something so many New England just don't deliver on. You don't always know and recognise, okay, this is a beer. So many New Englands fall into that, just in that sweet, juicy sort of side that they forget, and they don't bring across that they are beer, and it's hard to interpret that way. So it is very nice to have one that really truly does that, truly delivers that juicy beer, as opposed to a beer that's juicy. Yeah, I've said it before, I'm pretty sure I've reviewed the J Juice before on the channel. This is just a cracker of a beer. Definitely up there in the top, top 3 New England IPAs that I've drunk. Exactly where in that top 3 it is, I don't know. It could be top of the list. I can't at the moment. I sit down and I can't think off the top of my head of a New England IPA which I've enjoyed more. I've had a couple of good ones. For the most part, I don't particularly enjoy the style, but I think it's because it's not interpreted right by all the breweries that are doing it. A lot of them aren't getting it right. But I think this is really what the style is meant to be, how it should be. Juicy beer with a lovely mineral bite, fresh flavours, and enough malt and bitterness there to go, okay, I'm having a beer. If you haven't tried one of these, get yourself one. Pay postage. Pay someone else to go and get one for you and to send it to you. Bust out on a road trip, whatever it takes. Get yourself some J Juice. Bloody sensational. See you for the next beer. Righto. We're wearing them down. Next cab off the rank. another one of, yeah, I'd probably say, it's a Hop Nation, one of their classics. The Heart Pale Ale. Again, this is probably one of their sort of original sort of a brew. 4.6% alcohol, and there's no hints on the can as to what's really in here. Floral and citrus hop aromas. That's about the most you're going to get out of it. So, it's pale strawish. They say golden straw. That's, yeah, sort of. It's a good sized head. It's a bit fine, but it's there. It's nice. Nice gentle hop notes. They're very clear, they're very much there, but they're not aggressive. And again, this probably falls into that old school category, pale ale, when they were still doing, yeah, most brewers were still doing majority of late hops, and a little bit of flame out, possibly a touch of hop in the whirlpool, or maybe a little bit of dry hop, but not a lot, where most of the hops were still being driven in the boil. And as a result, you get that lovely aroma and nose. And classic pale ale in the mouth. It's nice, gentle, sweet malts. Yeah, just a little bit of bitterness, nice. Yeah, there's some gentle citrus there, a little bit of, you know, the florals there. It's like, again, it's another one of those beers that delivers what's on the can. The hops start off floral, and then the citrus comes over the top of them. But it's just nice. It's simple. It's not aggressive in any way, shape or form, and it shouldn't be. It's a pale ale. It's just a standard pale ale. It's not bloody, you know, it's not an XPA, it's not a session IPA, it's not just a bog standard original, yeah, pale ale. And it ticks all the boxes you want that kind of beer to tick. It's got plenty of malt, plenty of hop flavour. You can't complain about the amount of flavour you're getting out of that. This is packaged on the 1st of June. So 6 weeks since she's been canned. And yeah, drinking real nice. If you've not tried that one, yeah, and you'd like your traditional sort of pale ale, or you're, yeah, maybe one of those guys you don't like the big hoppy numbers of the, you know, the modern beers. You don't like that big hop punch, but you do like a little bit of flavour, and to know you actually got something there. This is the sort of thing you do want to go looking for. Very nice. I'm going to sit now. I'm going to enjoy this. And I'll be back soon with the second last of our Hop Nation expedition. Righto. The penultimate, second last brew in this run of 8 from Hop Nation. This one is the Karma Oatmeal Stout. Wasn't sure where to finish with the last two. It's this fella, and oh, I'm going to leave the last can till the end, mind you. anyone who's had a fucking decent look at the thumbnail for the video is going to know what the last one is. But anyway, this is an oatmeal stout. She's pouring very dense head there. 5% alcohol. Using free uniquely toasted malts alongside specialty oats results in a smooth and creamy mouthfeel highlighted with hints of mocha. Ready to enjoy all year long with karma on your side. So, I'm going to let this one sit a little bit. So, if you watch the reviews regularly, you'll see there was recently the Chubut River Brewing, they had an oatmeal stout. There wasn't a massive, well, not so much I wasn't a massive fan, but was a little bit lacking, and sometimes you can find that with those stouts. But this looks like and describes like the kind of oatmeal stout I want to drink or expecting to get. You know, a bit thicker, a bit heavier, a bit almost chewy in character, but yeah, with plenty of oats actually having an influence, because yeah, at the end of the day, it's a fucking oatmeal stout. It's not a stout with some oats. So okay, nose is just typical dark malts. There's some little touch of chocolate, some coffee, sweet, yeah, a little bit of that sort of nutty, hazelnut nutty sort of an edge. That smells really nice. Yeah, I'm gonna try and get through this bloody through this head, get into this. She's black, no doubt about that. She's certainly on the dark end of the spectrum. Okay, it's not as heavy as I was expecting from the way that's poured. Okay. Okay. Not sure what to, what to make of it. Initially, it's thin-bodied. It's relatively light on flavour. And as I say, this is the comment I made. The oatmeal stouts, and generally, quite often, as a style, it seems to it's thin-ish. I really think it should be it should have more oomph than what it does. Yeah, it's nice enough, but I think it's me. The reality is, I don't think I'm a fucking massive fan of the actual oatmeal style. I like some oats in a stout. But I've never brewed an oatmeal stout per se, and I've never really looked into exactly what it is. But I have trouble getting why these commercial oatmeals are so thin and light. Yeah, home brews, we're using oats. I said that's to give some creaminess, give some mouthfeel. I mean, I suppose there is some there. Not as fit as others, but yeah, that's. As far as stouts go, to me it's just a little bit disappointing. This is certainly a long way from being the worst oatmeal stout I've ever drunk. It's got some, there is some flavour there. There's a little bit of creaminess and some body, but not a lot, not as much as I would like to get. Yeah, decent. Not for me. Not fantastic. I certainly wouldn't be rushing out to buy. Yeah, I'm not going out and buying it again. Okay. Anyway, so that's it. That leaves us with one beer, and I'll get into that soon. Righto. Let's crack at the last one. Number 8. And this one I've been very keen to get to. This is my favourite style at the moment. Oh, look at that. Oh, fuck. That's like a fucking beer commercial. That's beautiful. Except for the fact that it's fucked me table. But anyway. Clean up on aisle 5. No problem at all. Anyway, you can't make beer without spilling beer. Can't drink beer, whatever. The Buzz American Red, 6% alcohol. Layers of rounded red malt orbiting a generous slew of piney, spicy and floral American hops, pouring with a spectacular crimson hue. May the buzz be with you. I don't know. And she's, it's hard to see, it's got a bit dark in here, but it's real light. She's certainly, yeah, definitely got that crimson hue that they're talking about. No doubt about that. Okay, as I said, yeah, this is the red IPA. Certainly my one of my favourite styles at the moment, that's for sure. I'm really enjoying these type of brews. Obviously recently I've had the brewed the red IPA. Let me crack at the first one. But this fella, it's okay. It's got nice. It's nice caramel, beautiful sweet malty notes. It's like a fruity note, but it's more like cranberries and so that sort of side, you know, deep plum sort of smells, like your typical citrusy and stone fruit sort of notes. Gee, that smells quite nice. She's fairly well carved. Let's give the mouth a moment or two to adjust to that. Just come off that oatmeal stout. Okay. It's not winning me over particularly. The malt's light, a bit on the sweet side. Not carrying, for me, not carrying enough oomph. There's not enough malt character there. And the hops are coming through, and they're not really developing or delivering any real flavour other than having a hop edge. And I go, that's a bloody hard, that's a tough bloody, it's a tough description to decipher, I know, but yeah, if you've drunk any more than bloody half a dozen beers, you know what I mean. It's that taste of, it's that hoppiness, it's that grassy edge. Okay, it's starting to come through as a bit piney. And yeah, scooting on that floral sort of side. So to me, it's taking both elements on the narrow side of where you want, really where I enjoy them for this type of beer. I like the malt to be big and have some depth and some real flavour, and the hops to have something to back them up. You know, a little bit of resin and some, yeah, a little bit of dank doesn't hurt. You know, a little bit of fruit. Where this is, the malt and the hops are pulling to the on the bottom side of where you want them to be, and it, for me, it's just leaving with a beer that's a little bit on the little bit lacking. Yeah. Now I don't know whether it's this. I was expecting a lot from this beer, and so I don't know whether I'm expecting putting too much. If I'm putting too much pressure on this beer to deliver a certain thing, because that's what I expected it to do, or whether it's just not delivering in general. Look, I'm sure there's going to be plenty of people who would enjoy that. And okay, so for what it is, I've got to step aside from what I'd like it to be, to what it is. It's not terrible, not by a long shot. It's nice. It's just a bit on the light end. It's piney, spicy and floral, and they are. Lays around the red malt. I don't know if I really agree with that. And I think if the malt was a bit deeper, then those hops would work a bit more. As it is, it's a little bit. It's funny because it's quite a big and it's quite a solid beer, but it's, for me, it's leaning on that flimsy side. But anyway, that's how it is. I think, yeah, really it's worth trying if you're, if you get a chance. Give it a whirl. I mean, there's going to be plenty of people who are going to find that quite enjoyable. I don't not like it. It's just not really where I think it was expecting it to be. But still not, again, not a beer I'm going to really drink. I really want to drink a lot of them, and I'm not going to go out and buy it again. There's better options for me. Anyway, so guys, that's our big wrap up. Hope you got through it all right. It's been a long one. 8 brews. Takes some time. Overall, beers have been good. Solid at the very least, right? Yeah, and ranging up to some really nice, tasty brews. I'm yet to have a bad beer from these guys. Some, don't perform as highly as others for my liking, but definitely they're knocking out solid beers consistently. They match, their descriptions, by and large match up with the beer you're getting. Like this, it may not match up with the style I'm expecting to get, but it's matching up fairly well with what they tell me it's going to. So you've got to give them kudos for that, and you can't be picking them, for not producing what they say they're going to. So many breweries don't deliver in the glass what the can tells you you're going to get. These guys do it consistently. So if you haven't tried Hop Nation, do yourself a favour. Get some of their brews. They're well worth it. And the pricing on these guys is, it's good. They're not ridiculous. They're not through the roof. You pay a good, honest price for the beers they give you. So, as always, comments, questions, stick them down the bottom. Patreons of Little Johns. Cheers, guys, for your support. As always, thank you. Keeps the channel going. Someone's got to pay for me beer. Because the fucking missus doesn't like doing it. Yes, hello. Yeah, I know. The missus does pay for the beers if I bloody want them. Yeah, I get it. If you subscribe to Little John, thank you. If you're not, hit the subscribe button down there. Get notified what's going on. Yeah, we drink beer, we play around with beer, we do experiments. There's all sorts of things going on. Check out all the info down the bottom. Hit the like button if you like what's going on, if you appreciated what Little John's done, that he sat down and drank a whole bunch of beers and told you what he thought of them. How many people really, in this world, will sit down and try 8 different beers and tell you what they think of them? But anyway, that's me. I'm done. So until I see you again, we're brewing beer, drinking beer, or we talking beer. Good brewing. Watch ya.